Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun, Hong Kong. We've talked to everybody in there. We've talked to Crafty for the first time. We've talked to the Go players that I did not know about. I suppose I could go in here and talk to people in there. That might be an option. I haven't done it yet. Spider Shen. Despite the wind and rain pelting Haoi, the proprietor of this stall, a monk, judging by their outfit, is unconcerned. The monk's expression is indifferent, though hardly placid or serene. Muscles show as tightly wound metal bands beneath the skin, ready to snap in any direction without warning. What's more, the monk's robes are anything but ordinary. Certainly silk makes up the base outfit, but it's paired with high-impact ballistic armor, heavy-duty boots, and a bandolier of throwing knives. The table in front of you is arrayed with a wide variety of melee weapons, charms, jade pendants, and other mystical accoutrements. Beneath an awning in the rear are rows upon rows of cages, each housing some variety of exotic reptile or insect. These in turn are flanked by jars and boxes of Chinese herbs, incense, powders, and inks. The monk spares you only the shortest of glances as you approach. I am Monk Shen. Most people in Haoi call me Spider Shen, on account of the spiders back there. You're not local, not by a long shot. It's definitely a statement, not a question. Yes, what about it? Shen shrugs and swings an open palm across the table in front of you. So you probably have more reason to buy something than my neighbors, and I'm here to sell, so that's good. Swords, knives, clubs, I sell it all. I make most of these, but if I can't, I've got friends who can. If you need incense or salves for meditation, I make and sell those too. If your joints ache, I can give you acupuncture. Shin places both palms on the table, leaning over it towards you with a wicked grin. So, what can I show you? Let me look at your wares. Okay, this is for adepts. And oh my goodness. So many katanas. Axe, machete, kunai ninja suit. Yeah, this is for adepts. Throwing knife, shuriken, spiked fist. Distant dreams foretold. Producing flames when striking a target. Plus -1 AP shock. Ooh. If I were playing an adept, that would be really lovely. You are a monk and a weapons dealer. Yes. Slowly raised eyebrow, arms folded. Where else would the ancient masters have gotten their legendary swords and spears down at the mall? I was at Wudang Mountain for 15 years before coming back to Hong Kong. I've been practicing Jing Yi Quan my entire life. That's how I learned the herbs as well as the forms. It just so happens I'm good in a forge too. That's why you buy here. What you buy here is better than most other people's. So why become a weapons dealer out here? I was a runaway, street orphanette in Aberdeen. One day, an old man who called himself Woe offered to take me and let me make something of myself as long as I worked hard. Nothing in this life is free, friend, not even Grandfather Woe's help, so I work for him now. Shen's eyes roll at this. Obviously, oops, I clicked an answer, I didn't read it. You think I'm in Kindly's little haven for no reason? She and Grandfather Woe are on good terms. I don't get in her way. I pay a cut to her. Everybody's happy, even Woe, because I solve problems for her. Shen raises a balled fist that suddenly bursts into blue flame. After a moment, it gutters and goes out. Remember that. If anyone ever gives you something for free in Haoi, you pay it back with money or blood. But you pay it back. Hello! So welcome back. And before I go any further, I'm going to correct the mistake. I can't save in a conversation. So, what happened was, Malwarebytes did a scan and reported to me that there were no things found, and instead of letting it just drop off my screen, I went to go click it. That caused Fraps to fail, which caused Shadowrun to fail, and I had to do everything back up to this place. I'm going to have to respin the karma too, which I've forgotten to do. Also, Raptor had interesting stuff to say. There was a start of a conversation with Fractor. I didn't really look at much because I thought it was the same thing. And there were more things in um, Gaichu's souvenir box that I went and looked at some chopsticks, and I didn't get too much information about it because I kind of skipped through it. Oh well, some other run. Anyway, Shen raises a balled fist, which suddenly bursts into blue flame. This is where we were. What's Xingyi Quan? Shen strikes a sudden pose, body low, one fist against the hip, while the other is extended in an open palm. The five-element fist style. Water grows wood, which burns to become fire. Fire creates ash and earth, which condenses into metal, etc. The forms cycle the five elements, and opposing elements block each other. Yes, that was a can opening. I am drinking Diet Dr. Pepper. A water fist will break a wooden defense, but a water block will extinguish fire. Should one use a water interception on a metal fist, however, water will be smashed apart. Direct, simple, powerful, not so elegant as Ba Ji Quan or Tai Chi, but much more powerful. Shin pulls a tarp away from a nearby lump. The object beneath the tarp is revealed as a door to an Ares City Master armored personnel carrier. It's been caved inward by a massive amount of force, and in the dead center of the door is an indentation into which Shin's fist would fit perfectly. Power comes from focus, and focus comes from practice and meditation. Xingyi Quan produces more power than most other forms of Kung Fu, and applies it in a highly focused way. Why are your weapons special? Because I take greater care with them. And I've studied the ancient text. Anyone can make an excellent carbide steel blade, but I can make that carbide blade burst into flames. I can make it sing with joy in combat. Anyone can make steel, not anyone can wake its soul. Can I see the blades you've awoke? No, of course not. Swords like that have to be custom ordered. Only when someone cancels an order do I have one just lying around, and believe me, they get snatched up quickly. But don't you have the Ardent Phoenix in there? I do not have any blades for you right now. I get the picture. Let's talk about something else. You sell the snakes and spiders, too. No, they're mine. I can sell you the things I craft with my hands, or the things I can do, but the medicines and poisons I make are my secret. You want those, you apprentice to me. In 5 years, maybe I show you how to make a poultice, eh? They're that secret. Of course they're secret. These are what set me apart from the rest of the street dealers in Hayoi. If you want cram or bliss or any 2-bit Triad punk can make that for you. But I can realign your ki, set your yin and yang in balance, or set somebody else's out of balance with a few drops. To master my skills, you need to learn for years. It's not just following a formula. Because it's magic. You want to learn, you need practice. You try to learn without patience, all you do is ape the masters. Shin snaps 2 fingers and points at the cages. You have to understand them to truly learn my art. Otherwise, you never become a master. Might as well get a skill soft. Let me take a... That's all for now. I've looked at his wares. We did a bit before. There is another person I want to look at, talk to, or a group of people, and that's the troll family, the cafe family. There's a crystal with a giant with a dragon in it too, or is that a dragon? I'm not sure what that is. Frederick Cafe stands solidly by the club door, his arms folded across an impossibly large chest. He eyes those entering and leaving the club like a god might look down from Olympus, but he smiles while doing so. Hey, Noel, been hearing more about you. I suppose I'm not doing my job right then. Don't sweat it, your secrets are safe with me, though I do wonder if what I've heard is legit. I heard you might have killed some guy, or maybe a couple dozen guys, maybe even that you're a terrorist. Not sure that one fits, but you do look like a heavy hitter. I'm a lover and a fighter. Club 88 caters to both. And you're in the right company with me, you know. They call me the untouchable, never taken so much as a scratch. Of course, my snot brother says it's because people are afraid to hurt me, or else they might lose face with our parents. As if that would ever stop some of these punks, am I right? Not a scratch. Pulls up his taut t-shirt, revealing a thick layer of form-fitting body armor below it. Of course, things that get stopped by this stuff don't count as scratches. How much do you bench press, Frederick? I don't bench press, I do dumbbell presses. They're more functional. Bench press artificially stabilizes things too much. But to answer your question, when I do bench, I max around 700 kilograms. Wow. grins confidently. That's double the current world bench press record for unmodified humans, by the way. Handled some rough customers, have you? It's what I do. Think about it. Inside, my brother sells the kind of things that would make a Buddhist monk turn psychotic, and then in back, my ma has selling enough firepower to blow the roof 6 times over. In other words, we sell petrol and matches. Yours truly is the firefighter, but this firefighter ain't never been burned, not once. Pretty impressive, right? You just let me know if you need something, if you're needing some additional muscle. You can call on Mr. Untouchable to get the job done. Well, you might be on my list of things I can hire then. Tell me more about your family. You may think I'm impressive, sure. My brother Callum and both my mom both work pretty hard to keep this place afloat. But people don't realize things about my ba. He's not just some old sailor. You want to know the secret? He was a pirate, one of the very best. Over 20 years at sea, and he was never caught. Untouchable, just like me. You ask him about it, he'll deny it. I'm sure he's made enemies over the years. Gotta play it smart, keep his past a secret, but I figured it out a long time ago. He's a great man, my ba. That's why I gotta be strong to live up to his example. I'll leave you be. I'm sure... Okay. El Duce, this tall, well-built human, you were on my hire list, has been watching you since the moment you entered Club 88. Surreptitiously, of course, glances over his shoulder and the like, but you're certain he's been watching you. Finally speaks as you draw near. I hear you're the one to talk to about work in the shadows. Maybe, maybe not. What's it to you? He shrugs and folds his arm across his chest. I'm looking for work here in Hong Kong, but I don't have my own team. I asked around who the players are in Hayoi. They said talk to you. Call me El Deuce. I'm a street samurai, good with shotguns, close combat. I've got a bit of medical know-how on top of that. My rates are reasonable. Unless it's a run against Shiawase, in that case, it's completely free. I run against Shiawase because the sons of bitches killed my wife and stole my son. Duce's voice is hard and flat. Anything to screw them over, I don't need to get paid for. Why take your son? Often in biology. He's got the genes for type O immune system. You know what that is? And I would have had this if I had spent my karma already. No, what's that mean? It means that organs and blood can be donated to anyone. They're universally compatible. If a company wants to produce bioware on the cheap, they use sinless type O bodies as templates to grow the wearer. Human factories, basically. Sick stuff, but it's not like we can complain to anybody. Officially, we don't even exist. Shaking his head, Deuce looks away. Let's talk about something else, okay? Have you been a Shadowrunner your whole life? Chuckling, Deuce shakes his head. No. Originally, I was in IT, you know, tech support. That's a hell of a jump to be a Shadowrunner. Yeah, well, having your wife gunned down your kid stolen tends to focus your attention. Sounds like a bad action scene, doesn't it? Still, that's how it happened. One day, Shiawase's getting away with me. You live here in Hayoi? No, Chungking Mansion's down the way. Near Hong Kong. It's a real hellhole, but nothing like the walled city. Still, I come up here because this is where the work is. A lot of smugglers coming in and out, a lot of freelancers needed to solve problems. Gesturing towards the rest of the bar, Duce surveys the dingy interior with an uncritical eye. Places like this exist all over the world. Dives where cops won't come in except with riot gear. Where people like us gather around and try to figure out how to make our next new yen. Find the right one, you can find any kind of work you want. See you later, Deuce. You too. Keep safe, alright? I'll have to keep you in mind for when we want muscle on a Shiawase job. Looking to score? How many shots does it take to lay out someone your size? I'll let you know if it ever happens. I'd like to know a little bit more about you. Hey, why would you want to know about me? I'm nothing. I sling poison to the dregs of Hayoi. It's not like I ever wanted anything more than this, right? I can see it on your face. You can probably see it all over mine. What good would an education serve someone like me? Why would I ever consider making something of myself to go places? Sure, I can fill out a suit like nobody's business. But people see a troll in Armani like they see an organ grinder's monk. No, this is the place for me. This is where I belong. I'll leave you. You've got a case of the, You fill out a suit. Henry Coffey putters about in the back of the club like a great hulking ghost. Despite his size, he goes largely unnoticed by the club's clientele. It's as if they all have a blind spot in which he is happy to reside. Why do you insist on chatting like this? Am I bothering you? I can leave. No, it's just unusual. Most people leave me be. They don't know me except by my name. They certainly don't know what I do here, so they have no cause to speak with me. Yes, some of us prefer the anonymity. But I don't know that I prefer it. But I've gotten used to being the forgotten one at this point. Ermine and Column are the faces of our business. Freddy is the face of our law, so to speak. I'm no good unless I'm out on the water. Any good stories for your days at sea? Stories? An old sailor always has stories. In my early years, I worked the fishing boats. I swear it seemed like every day we caught something in our nets stranger than the day before. Sometimes it was cargo we lost or thrown overboard by panicking smugglers. Sometimes it was bits of ships wrecked by those super typhoons they say the geomancers caused. We'd haul up the occasional body. Figure some of them were refugees, either from the mainland after the Civil War or the Philippines after the whole mess. Human trafficking, pirates, lots of bodies in these waters. But more and more we pull up bizarre sea creatures. Not sure if they were mutants or some kind of awakened critters. The small ones we always threw back as soon as we caught them. If you don't know what something is, best to assume it sprays acid or lays eggs anyway. The big ones, he shakes his head in disbelief. A lot of times we had to cut loose the net. Nets cost a fortune. But when the whole boat shudders and you see 3-meter spines or tentacles or something break the surface, you know it's not worth saving the net. Those were good times, though. Simpler times. It got more complicated as I got older, and as the seas got ever more fished out, it's even more complicated now that I'm stuck on dry land. I guess the skills of a sailor don't translate to cargo on the ship, really. No, they don't. I want to be a good provider, but I just don't know how to contribute anymore. I think about my own father. He was a fisherman long before me, for 40 years. He went out early in the morning, returned late at night. He put food on the table in a very literal sense. He did that without complaint every week until the day he died. That's providing. That's being a good husband and father as far as I'm concerned. My father wouldn't have lasted a day in this life of mine. The world's just moved on from what he knew and what I knew. I miss those simpler times. I don't think you were a pirate. I think you were exactly what you say you are. I think your son is romanticizing you. Now, before I do this... Oh, never mind. Ermine haggles with the dwarf over the price of a customized shotgun, sealing a deal with the offer of a size-appropriate bandolier. The dwarf leaves happy, and Ermine slots another black market cred stick in your stash. Welcome, Noella. How can I help you? Business good? Business is booming, as always. People like easy solutions. They will pay good money for them. Guns are one way, booze and drugs another. This is why we sell what we sell. My son Callum doesn't understand this. He thinks he would be happier as some corporate drone. But I've been there, and I can say for certain it's just a longer path to where we are now. It all ends with drinking, or sometimes killing, or at least we are direct about it. So how did you end up selling guns out of here? Back when my husband worked for Regime, he had his little side operation, smuggling weapons right under the corporation's nose. Strictly small time, barely worth the risk, but it brought in a little extra money, which we desperately needed. But Henry was never very good at brokering the deals. He hated that part of the business. He didn't care to haggle, always leaving money on the table. We fought about it often, and one day he told me to handle it if I cared so much, so I did. As it turned out, I was better at it, much better. I worked in the business world before the boys were born. I knew how these things must be done. So I began to make all the deals. I secured the product. I found the buyers. At the time, we didn't even need Henry to babysit the shipments. Our influence had grown strong, and now we run everything safely from dry land. What's the problem with Callum? There is no problem so long as he remembers his place is here. There are too many ideas in that boy's head, too much ambition. Ambition like that never leads to a good end. He should be happy with what we have built for him. He is the eldest, and so very smart. One day he will take control of the club and all its business. But he feels trapped here. He wants to be free. The irony is that his idea of freedom is to work for a corporation. I know from experience there is nothing further from the truth. They don't call you wage slaves without good reason. But here we have true freedom. We make our own way. I wish he realized this. I tried to make him understand, but it only seems to drive him further away. I worry that if I try too hard, I will lose him into his ambitions. I'll leave you be. I don't have money to buy it. Okay, so two things we're going to do. First, we're going to spend the karma. Actually, I probably should have saved first, but I'm in here now. To get intelligence 3 and that. Because I want... Actually, I don't need the intelligence 3. So I have 4 available. Because the hit points visible... kind of want intelligence 3 just... If I have extra money for it, I might do it. Okay. I could get that. There's nothing here I can get. I can get that and that. I mean, I'm not using the pistol much, but there's... Ooh, no, I can't get both. So I can get the dodge. Less likely to be attacked than their teammates. Interesting. Is that how it works? I think I'm going to take the increased close combat, because it adds to the accuracy for the things. And then I am going to save. I can't save here. Okay, now I can save because I was stopped moving. And I think that will be it. I'm running out of hard drive space, and yeah, that'll be it. Talk to you later.